Disliking an awful character in an awful show filled with awful writing does not make you a racist. Why does this even need to be pointed out? Because Star Wars, or more correctly Disney, is currently in all hands on deck panic damage control mode, as their latest Star Wars series Obi-Wan Kenobi is turning out to be not just one of the worst Star Wars shows ever produced, but one of the worst pieces of entertainment ever made. And Reva is a big part of that. For those of you blessed enough to not have watched Obi-Wan yet, Reva is played by actress Moses Ingram, who about a day ago released apparently racist and sexist abuse that she has been receiving due to her role. I've been trying my damnedest to actually find this abuse, but it has since been replaced on Instagram with the text, "The love is louder, it overflows, thank you." Maybe I'm simply not good enough at using Instagram, entirely possible, but that is where all the links lead. And the only mentions of it I have found are things like, quote, "You suck, loser, you're a diversity hire, and you won't be loved or remembered for this acting role." Ah yes, "You suck, loser." A well-known racial slur dating back to the Civil War, I believe. Let's see, what were the other ones? "Your days are numbered," said one message, which, hey, I can at least see that as kind of a threat, if it hadn't been delivered via DM on Instagram, which I would consider to be even less of a credible medium than Twitter. And the closest we get to actual racism is one person saying that "you're not the first N-word in Star Wars." Bearing in mind that the N-word used here is the ones found in rap songs, with the A rather than the hard R. As far as internet heckling goes, this is some soft-ass shit. And in Moses Ingram's defense, I can imagine there are far worse ones lying dormant in her DMs because, again, her character in Obi-Wan Kenobi is utterly, inexcusably god-awful. Now, you shouldn't heckle the actor regardless, maybe heckle the screenwriter, and you certainly shouldn't send racist threats, assuming there are some buried in there. But if I were to guess, this is more marketing ploy than actual genuine abuse, as, well, Star Wars does not necessarily have the greatest history of sticking up for its actors. Remember Gina Carano, who was cancelled for, in my opinion, a pretty innocent post? Oh, she received no defense from Star Wars or Disney. What about John Boyega, who they minimized and placed off into a corner on the Chinese poster? For some reason, I have a very hard time believing that Disney is taking a principled stand on this, especially as apparently they were priming the actress for the racist abuse before the show had even aired. Were you preparing this defense for a long time, Disney? Was this mayhaps even a part of your initial production plan, maybe? Or was it something you threw together after having seen the pre-airing and realizing what an apocalyptic turd had been placed, warm and steaming in your hands? And let us actually talk about that a bit, shall we? Because Reva's character is dreadful. She is worse than Jar Jar Binks. At least Jar Jar was there as an intentional comedic relief, a poor one perhaps, but he was supposed to be idiotic and funny. Reva is a walking plot convenience as often as she is a walking plot hole. In episode 3, for example, which you'll be seeing a video on later on today, there is a perfect example of this. One of many. Leia is fleeing down a tunnel. As far as we can see, it is a singular tunnel, one tunnel going one way with no side passages or detours anyway. Even more so as Leia is abandoned by her guardian because she'll find the way by herself, indicating it is a very simple route. Leia has entered this tunnel long before Reva does. Yet Reva makes it to the end of the tunnel long before Leia does, so she can stand there waiting for her in a creepy fashion. It's idiotic. And that's merely a retarded plotline and timeline error. What else? Reva has mind-reading powers, which is not really a thing, yet she only uses them when the plot demands. When she and the Grand Inquisitor is looking for a Jedi, she has no idea who it is. But when she needs to pluck the location of Obi-Wan literally from the mind of Orando, not a problem, it takes a couple of seconds. That would have been a useful skill to use tracking down other Jedi, don't you think? And on that point as well, the Jedi reveals himself. Reva almost kills him and has to be stopped with force powers by the Grand Inquisitor as he wants to interrogate him. The Jedi then escapes because of Reva's action. He knocks down a piece of cloth which stops Reva and all the other Inquisitors in their tracks. God help me. And by the way, might I point out as well here, this is the Grand Inquisitor. This is not somebody you mess around with. He has a tremendous amount of power and influence within the Empire. Reva gives him lip again and again. She goes directly against his orders again and again. She is openly insubordinate again and again, rebellious outright. The Grand Inquisitor does nothing. He should have killed her on the spot for the sheer disrespect alone, yet instead, what happens? Reva kills him by randomly stabbing him as they're chasing down Obi-Wan. Which, by the way, Reva doing this allows Obi-Wan to escape from the only possible egress in the area, which is a big, dumb, slow freighter with a predetermined destination, which Reva does not intercept, does not track, and does not shoot down as it leaves an Empire-controlled planet. She then decides to not upload Obi-Wan's picture to that planet's Imperial garrison, who are sitting next to him for minutes wondering, God damn, we're looking for a Jedi, if only we knew what he looked like. Reva is terrible. She is one of the worst written characters I have ever experienced. She has powers she should not have. She is a walking plot device. She is a walking plot hole. She kills characters far more powerful than her, just like that, with zero consequence whatsoever. And she is also dumb, unbelievably stupid, while simultaneously having in her possession knowledge that would be ridiculously top secret. She tells Obi-Wan that Lord Vader is Anakin Skywalker. Vader hates any reminder whatsoever of his past. He will kill anyone who so much as suspects he might be Anakin. Oh, well, much less Anakin, that suspects he might have been a Jedi at some point. He was ready to kill Admiral Thrawn for the mere suspicion, and yet this chick, who knows for a fact, somehow, that Vader is Anakin, is fine and happy and dandy. And I cannot wait to see the absurd reason for how she came to have this knowledge. And I could go on. Tragic though it sounds, this isn't even a complete list of all the times she has ruined Obi-Wan Kenobi. And we're on episode 3. I do not exaggerate when I say that she is one of the worst characters I have ever seen written. She is hands down the worst character in Star Wars history. And she is absolutely annihilating the Obi-Wan Kenobi TV show, which has plenty of other errors as well, mind you, but amongst the pile of stacked up effluence and garbage, nevertheless, Reva stands out in radiant, unholy brilliance. And so if Disney really is concerned about their actors receiving too much harassment, I have a suggestion, a radical proposition. For whilst there will always be assholes on the internet, and even, probably, gasp, a few racists, studies have shown that if you simply concentrate on making good TV rather than some of the worst TV in human history, abuse drops significantly. Something to think about for your next show, Disney. Until next time, I've been Arch. Thank you all very much for watching, and I hope to see you all again soon. Have a good day.